Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat. I'm Oliver and I'm joined by Lewis and Alex for this, our review of Pokemon Legends Arceus. We all hype, guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Great.
Yay, boom. Right, so before we get into opening statements and stuff, I want to ask you a couple of questions regarding your history with the series. So, what was your first experience with the Pokemon game, Lewis?
My first experience with Pokemon, well, the Pokemon games anyway, will have been Pokemon Crystal. That was 100% the first game I played, but in terms of actually fully remembering and remembering the entire experience, it will have been Pokemon Emerald. That was like the first Pokemon game that I played to completion, and I actively wanted to catch certain Pokemon. I guess that was just the age in which I was old enough to comprehend what I was doing. Crystal was more just I'm playing a game, but I'm probably 3, so I don't really know what's going on. So yeah, I'd say Emerald really is my first proper one that I was sentient enough to understand.
Sentient
And then from
enough.
then on, I've played all of them.
Before that, you was inanimate Lewis.
Pretty much.
Yeah, banging.
And everyone's like that, aren't they? You just randomly just start thinking one day.
Try and remember
Oh,
anything before the
I'm
age of
alive.
4, and it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it goes like that. Yeah. So you're inanimate, and then you're sentient, and then around in your teenage years, the existential dread starts to set in. And I think that's like the final form of humanity. Alex, your first experience with a Pokemon game?
Yeah, so I've had a Game Boy Color for as long as I can remember, and I've had Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow. Used to take them everywhere with me. Used to play them all the time. Used to restart them all the time. And then from then on, I've just gotten every single game after that. And then, yeah, pretty much playing it all my life.
Banging. So you are a proper Pokemon fan then.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I was playing through this, I was using... Well, it wasn't this. It was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl I was playing. I was using you as a coach because I don't know all the type advantages off by art and stuff like that. And it's just... Alex knows straight away.
Make it clear as well. I'd say probably me and Alex are very big... In terms of how much we like these games, just so there's no sort of... Well, maybe you're aware of a bias. Me and Alex like Pokemon very, very much. Oliver likes it less than us.
Yes,
so
I'm here to balance out the scales of it. What was I going to ask then? You said that.
What's your
mine? I'm glad you asked, Alex. I'm glad you asked. So my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow. I remember distinctly playing it on my Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. Cracking system.
I had a green one.
Green.
I had a purple one.
It's
but it was see-through. It was one of those ones.
That's Atomic Purple. That's Atomic Purple.
Ah, right, yeah, I had that one then.
Yeah,
I'll show you my green one actually.
Show us. Hills with it. I've not got any of my original consoles.
The closest.
There you go. There's me green Game Boy Color.
Beautiful.
The closest I've got to my original console.
No battery pack on the back. Look at that.
Yeah, mine never had the battery pack either.
Beautiful.
The closest one I have is my Game Boy Advance SP. I still have that. It's scratched to shit. It's destroyed, but it still works. It's just the paint's all sort of just been scratched off.
Yeah, no, I think the earliest original console I've got, the one that I haven't sold and bought again, was the Wii U. But anyway, yeah. So Pokemon Yellow, I didn't complete it. I remember I'd been playing a lot of Pokemon Snap when that came out. I completely skipped the next generation, which was Sapphire.
No, it was Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Oh, it was Gold, Silver, Crystal. I skipped the next ones. I didn't come back until Diamond and Pearl. I have gone back and played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I didn't come back until Diamond and Pearl. But I didn't actually, you'll be interested to know, complete a Pokemon game until Sword and Shield. I never played all the way to the Elite Four and to the ending until Sword and Shield. Really? Really. I didn't even do Diamond and Pearl, and I played the shit out of that when it came out.
Is there a reason for that, though?
It was very long, I guess. The very, very, very long game.
If you saw my hours on Pokemon X, you would probably cringe.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, it just back then it didn't interest me. Now I can sit and play because I can play them very passively. One second, I'm just going to turn a light on. I can play them very passively, so I can sit and watch TV and just play. That's how I played Pokemon Diamond, Shining Pearl, and this basically. I played it all while watching TV. It's quite good games for that, in my opinion. So next question, again before opening statements, we will get onto Pokemon Legends Arceus at some point, I do promise you. What is your favourite Pokemon ever?
Favorite Pokemon or Pokemon game?
Pokemon. It's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pocket
My
Monster.
favorite Pokemon is Eevee.
Eevee.
It's a very boneless answer because a lot of people will say the same, but Eevee first of all is just cute in general, but also you get like 8 different Eevees as well, and you can't really argue against that not being cool. You not only get an Eevee, you get something that turns into like 8 other different forms,
Yeah.
and well, they don't all look cool, but most of them look quite cool. So I don't know. There's just Eevee's just always been my favorite. I've always just gone towards Eevee whenever I see an Eevee in a Pokemon game. I'm like, I need the Eevee, give it to me.
It's a very versatile Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex.
Is actually a weird one. It's Trevenant. He's just a cool ghost tree.
It's a very, very good Pokemon, to be fair.
Is that the one you sent in Discord yesterday?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty funny.
True.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I've ever actually seen that in any of the actual games. Which generation does it come from?
X
Gen
and Y.
7.
Oh, is it? All
No,
right.
X and Y.
I thought it was Sun and Moon when he came.
Nope. X and Y.
Ah, X and Y. Okay.
Yeah,
fair
no,
enough.
X and Y I played maybe 5 hours of, and I didn't even touch Sun and Moon at all. Never went anywhere near it. Yes.
It's understandable since they changed the system for
Yeah.
Sun and Moon.
I think Sun and Moon, to be fair, I think Alola is one of the better regions that Pokemon's had. It's just the game's a bit jarring, especially the beginning, because it's very story heavy and it doesn't really let you do anything for hours. But once
It's
it
ahead of
opens
its
up,
time.
it's quite fun.
I thought it had a lot of water. I thought that was it. People's issue with it, with Sun and Moon.
No.
No,
No, is it
it
not
was
that?
just the incessant amount of dialogue and just
Alright.
everything was just really long. They
What-
fixed a lot of it in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Water meme, Oliver, is from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire when IGN gave it 7.8 and said
Yes.
too much water.
Oh right,
Yeah.
okay, fair play. Okay, right. So my favorite Pokemon is so he used to be Spoink. He used to be Spoink because
Really?
he's just fucking hilarious. It's just a pig on a spring, man. That's all it
I mean,
is.
yeah.
You know the lore behind Spoink.
I know he's got it's something to do with the ball. And if the ball falls off his head, doesn't he die or something like that?
No, if he stops bouncing, he dies.
Yeah, he
Oh,
dies.
just
Yeah.
drops dead. How does he sleep? Oh my god. But my actual favorite Pokemon now is Turtwig. I love Turtwig. I'm a big fan of turtles, and
That's fair.
I always pick the grass starter.
Understandable.
Bulbasaur's my favorite Pokemon from the first generation, but he had Turtwig overall. It's just a little turtle tree,
Just a turtle.
and Torterra's just badass as fuck. He's just great.
Yeah.
Growl's kind of boneless.
Understandable.
Growl's kind of boneless. It's just.
I've
Growlithe
said
is kinda
this,
shit.
yeah, Growlithe is boring.
I think all the in between ones are for most starters. To be honest with you, you have them for such a small amount of time.
Yeah, to be fair, I think most middle evolution starters end up being the most forgettable ones, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, even with, like, Charizard,
Like
I
a
always
really good one.
remember Charizard, and I always remember Charmander, but I never remember Charmeleon for some reason.
Yeah.
I always just forget about Charmeleon. It just doesn't exist.
It's the same like
It is a good middle. It's a good middle Evo. Grovyle.
Grovyle. What's that? The evolution of?
And Trico.
Well, Trico's
and
fucking
then-
shite anyway, in my opinion. I don't like.
Wow.
both of
Excuse
them.
me?
I don't like Trico. Of all the grass starters, he's my least favorite.
What?
Legit.
Of all the... What, you prefer Snivy over Trico?
Yeah. Have you seen? Right, Snivy. Fair enough. He's like his at first form isn't great, but Serperior is great. I love Serperior.
You're on a different...
It's a grass
different
type.
mindset.
You're in a different
Yeah.
level.
Different plane of existence.
Anyway, let's move on to opening statements for the actual game we're supposed to discuss in 10 minutes. Then, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Someone hit me with an opening statement.
Bold statement.
Lewis.
Pokemon's Legends Arceus is my new favorite Pokemon game ever. It's finally changed up the series for the better, and I beg they keep a lot of the features that are in this game and put them into games moving forward. Maybe it is due to recency bias. Maybe it is literally because they've changed literally anything about the game. But as of right now, it is currently my favorite Pokemon game. I think it's very good.
Cool. Alex, hit me.
I really, really like this game. I think it's a really good step in the right direction. I just think there could be more to it, which I'll probably explain later on in the podcast.
Could be more to it. Well, I'm just trying to get my score up. Apologies.
We give it scores
Yeah,
as well.
give me some scores. Give me some scores. Go on while I'm doing this.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oof. Lewis?
I arbitrarily gave it right now because I don't put stuff on Haaland to be an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. It's your favorite Pokemon game ever, and it's an 8 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, none of the other Pokemon games are 10.
Yeah, fair play. I gave
they're fun, but like, come on.
I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7.
That's high. This is high scores. This is big.
Yeah, no, it's right. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think it has got some issues, but it changes everything that I was starting to dislike about the Pokemon series of games. I'll get into it more, but one glaring example is when you are battling, the constant amount of text that is being thrown at you. Like it's like if you say something like there's a status effect or something, and the attack or defense goes up and down. In the old games, it just stopped play, but because of the way the battling system works now, it's gone in the background.
Yes.
It's good times. I really enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. Good passive game. So we'll get into the nitty gritty parts. First, I want to bring up off the old dome piece, probably the most controversial part about the game, and that is the graphics and how it looks. What did we think of the graphics? Don't be making excuses from Lewis.
No. The graphics. I'll try and be super quick with it because I don't want to hog it. But I think the graphics are not great. As the game's gone on, and I've even said this to Alex, I think the game doesn't look as bad as everyone made it out to be when it first came out and we had all the initial screenshots. And even when I first started playing it, like after playing it and seeing like the scale of the world and size of the world, there's actually like a lot of nice looking areas. And some of the textures can look quite good for like how big the world actually is. It should look much better because of the company. But they are very limited and have really like shit time restrictions on how long they have to make these games. So I understand why they don't look better than they do. I think the game looks fine. It could look a lot better, but it's starting to like grow on me a little bit. But it still looks kind of ass. So yeah,
Still looks kind of ass.
Yeah.
Alex.
I agree with Lewis. We don't know how long they've actually worked on the game. We can assume a year since like the Sword and Shield DLC came out. They've probably been working on it, but it could look better. Like obviously, you compare it to Breath of the Wild because that's what everyone compares it to. But Breath of the Wild still looks amazing. That came out in 2017. It's 5 years later, and this game looks kind of worse.
That's the only argument I ever have with Breath of the Wild is people seem to forget that they worked on that game for like 8 years or something.
Yeah.
Like a long time. So it makes sense why it looks that good. I still feel like it should look at least on par with that, since that's the sort of stuff you can get on the Switch. But yeah. people do forget
I would have
that
preferred if they said, yeah, right, guys, we're going to bring it out normally, like the November time. We're going to work on the game a bit longer. It is Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. We're going to work on the game and make the game look much nicer. I would have preferred that, to be honest.
That would have been nice. But for all we know, maybe this is... Obviously, they haven't said, but maybe this was delayed. Maybe this has already been delayed, yeah. Maybe they already like put this back in the oven for a bit to just work on it. We don't know, really.
It did release suspiciously close to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird.
My theory on it is, they've made this game and like, right, shit, people don't know anything about Sinnoh. So, because of those games on the DS, they're hard to get hold of, they're not easily accessible. So they've had to go to this company, what was it, Ilka, that made Brilliant Diamond. And they've said, right, guys, we need to just remake Diamond and Pearl, just put the exact same game on the Switch. All right, yeah. So people have played that and like, all right, let's see what Arceus is about. It's continuing the Sinnoh like story pretty much.
I do think Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were an afterthought in terms of like the game. I feel like they made Arceus and we're like, oh shit, we need people to play the first game. So they just had to sort of get it out. That's why it was probably given to someone else as well, because they literally just couldn't do it. They didn't have the time.
They didn't have the resources.
Yeah, I think my thoughts are very much the same. I think it looks. I played it mostly in handheld, so it's not quite as bad. Graphics are never really massively important to me. Important to me anyway. So it's not a big deal for me at all. It feels a bit empty to me, the world. When you're in the town, it's fine. You know, there's people knocking around and stuff, but it just feels like a very big empty world. But obviously, it's supposed to be when they've only just settled the land, really, isn't it? So it does make sense to a degree. But yeah, I think in terms of like why it looks bad, I think someone's got to be to blame for it. I know they like to pump out the Pokemon games because it's a big money spinner.
It'll be the Pokemon company.
Yeah, but if who pays is a Pokemon company financed by Nintendo?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's the Pokemon company or it's Nintendo. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah,
it's one of them who has like the say on stuff. Game Freak. People always shout at Game Freak. They're not the ones who decide like when these games need to come out. They're just the people making the game. And I'm sure they're working as hard as they can. But it's Nintendo or Pokemon company like pulling the strings and saying, yeah, you've got 2 years, go. So I have no clue.
Yeah, I just think if they're gonna take the games in this direction, then I think what the rep probably needs to throw more money at it and perhaps split the team. If you want to keep pumping them out, keep pumping out regular Pokemon games. No one's going to complain about that. People still playing them all these years later. But if you're going to do something ambitious like this, then it needs more time. It needs more money thrown at it, and you can have 2 separate series. You know what I mean? It's not like they haven't got enough money to do that. They've got enough money to split the team. And well, they're not low on profits.
Isn't Pokemon the highest grossing like media franchise in the world?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't. There's no excuse really.
On merch alone, they don't have enough money to do it.
It's just them being stingy and wanting to like stick to deadlines to make as much money as possible in like a short amount of time. I'm sure if they really wanted to, they could say, right, give these like 2 or 3 years to make this game, and we'll just, even if it's just outsourcing it to other companies, we'll just release some other games in the meantime. I'm sure they could. But they just want that constant like flow of cash though. They just want the money, which is fair. They're a business, but it does make the game suffer quite a bit, and I think it's a bit like unfair.
Yeah,
because it's not. Because I think one of the issues as well, is that a lot of the team that still works on these games are the teams who made the old games. So they've gone from making these 2D games on the DS and the whatever, and they've been like incredible at doing that, and they perfected that, and they've had to like learn how to translate these games into 3D, which is probably incredibly difficult. So that's probably something else that's like obviously just hard for them because they've had to completely change how these games work. And pretty much what they mastered, they have to just translate that somehow. So it's probably quite difficult.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So the thing, like things with the graphics, like critically, if you look at the reviews, it was the thing that was knocking it down the most. So they could, I just feel like they could have created, a fucking 10 out of 10 Breath of the Wild, like if they had the time to do it. So it's just at the end of the day, just throw more money at it, give it more time, and you're looking at like one of the, it'll go down in history as one of the greatest games.
Yeah.
Because they made all the right changes. Well, another thing that was not down in the reviews from what I saw, not quite as much, was the story and how it was ever so slightly boneless. Like my biggest issue with the story, I'm not a big fan of Pokemon stories anyway. They're all a bit anime for me. But my biggest issue was the first maybe hour of the game, and I was playing when I first booted up the game. I was on a car with you guys, and all you could hear me was fucking complaining the entire time because it just wouldn't let me play the game. It was just so much dialogue. And it let you capture your starters, and then that was it for ages before they actually let you go out there. And even when you got out there, it's just every single little step you take, every new thing they had to teach you. It was a load of dialogue. It was like taking the control out of your hands. It was very annoying the first hour. But what was your guys' overall thoughts on the story?
Go for Alex.
I thought the story was fine for like a Pokemon game. There was a lot of like, oh shit, like I didn't expect that to happen. Like obviously I'm not going to talk about it. We'll have probably have like a spoiler section where we'll talk about like the major story spoilers. But where like it was genuinely like surprising when stuff would happen. But it's Pokemon at the end of the day. It's not meant to have a major story. You're there for the Pokemon.
You are, but at the end of the day, it's a JRPG. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Yeah.
could have a great story,
It could.
and the fact that people care about Pokemon so much would make it mean all the more. Lewis?
Yeah.
I think the story. I'm just gonna say straight up. I think the story was ass. I think it was shit. I think it wasn't very good. I don't think many of the Pokemon stories are very good. The only like decent one is like Pokemon Black and White 2, and even then it's very basic.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's much excuse for why the story's so shit. They could make something really interesting in a world of little magical beasts. I'm sure they could. The characters, some of them looked cool. The characters had the characters had no personality, no flair to them. You didn't have to read any of the text to get what was going on. You could have figured that out just from playing the game. I hope they make better stories in the future, but yeah, this game. If you don't buy this game for the story,
No.
if you're going like, damn, I want a nice meaty story, don't do it. It's just really bad. It's straight up bad. There's some nice stuff at the end, in the after game that's quite cool. But for the most part, the story just sucks. And I do agree that once the game opens up, it's really, really fun. But that first like hour and a half is just a drag. It's just one of those games where it's like it's just too many. It holds your hand too much. It's like, right, you walk here, and then when you do this, you go and do this menu, and then catch this Pokemon, and blah blah blah. And it's just long winded for no reason.
Yeah.
But once it opens up, it becomes really, really good. They just need to shorten down that like initial intro period. The only excuse I'm maybe going to give them is that it's the first type of game like this, so they just wanted to make sure that everyone knew, especially coming from older games, how it's translated over to this weird FPS world that we've now got. So that's the only excuse I might give them. If the next one's like this, if they make another one, and the tutorial's like 2 hours long again, then I guess that's just how they're gonna do them. I guess.
My biggest issue with it was the fact that it's been marketed to shit. Right, but by the point it came out, it's been marketed, and we've seen a lot, quite a bit of gameplay, and it looks really fun. Like just going out and catching. We'll get into gameplay in a minute, but catching Pokemon looks really fun, and it's just I just wanted to do that. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to get out there and do it rather than wait an hour and a half to go through all the bullshit story to get there. But while we're on the story, I want to talk about the title of the game and Pokemon Legends Arceus. Me and Lewis have already argued about this. So before the credits roll, is this a spoiler? It might be classed as an anti-spoiler, but you don't see Arceus until it's not fine at all. The name of the game is Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? Apparently they do kind of mention him like during the story, but they're actually, unbeknownst to them, talking about other Pokemon. They're not talking about Arceus, and the name is Sinnoh. You know what I mean? It's just, I feel like it should have at least been shown before the credits rolled. It shouldn't have been left to the after game. It's such a weird choice. Or just don't put credits there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd agree. If we're going to agree on anything, I would agree just to not put credits at all, and just don't have it be after game. Just have it be the game, and then the game ends when you beat the game. I don't know why they split it into after game, because in other Pokemon games it makes sense for the after game because it's usually just extra stuff. But this is stuff that is integral to the plot, and it is odd that they just shoehorn it after the credits. Because it makes the credits sort of feel insignificant, like they're not actually credits, because it's just you're just sort of being lied to, really. But yeah, I can agree with you on that. They shouldn't be an after game. I still think it's fine the way they did it, but they shouldn't. They should just remove the credits and just have it be the full game.
I think it might be because like the actual end of the game is so reliant on kind of grinding. Really, there's a lot of requirements to actually get to Arceus. And it's very legendary. Like, there's loads of legendary Pokemon. Like, there's absolutely loads of them, and like you need to get them all to even get like towards Arceus. What do you think, Alex? Do you think his name should have been in the title? Yeah,
because he's the god of all Pokemon.
Yeah, that's another thing is the lore as well. I don't know if you're not heavily enough invested in the lore.
No.
Arceus is a big deal, Oliver.
I mean, I get that. I get it. But maybe they should have started off small and like Pokemon Legends Voltorb or something. Where they're going to go from here?
No, I think what they should have. This is how I'm going to compare it. So, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, when you catch Dialga and Palkia, that is basically where the credits roll in this game, and then you've got like that extra 3 hours or something at the end. That's like how you can compare it. and then obviously the rest of it is the after game.
Yeah. So have you never? So you remember you saying you never been able to catch Arceus before,
No.
Nope.
but he did appear in games, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, as like you could get it off like mystery gift.
But
You could
like
never go and catch it.
Yeah.
There was going to be a distribution for Arceus in Diamond and Pearl, but then they just never released it. Like the code's all there. You can do it if you pack the game.
Yeah, I've seen people play with them.
Yeah.
Assuming through hacks or mystery guests, like you say. But we're gonna get into the gameplay, which is arguably the most important part of this because it's the things that change the most. So I haven't got any notes in front of me, but I'll try and rattle off all the changes that I can think of. First of all, it's not a top-down view. You have full control of the cameras, a la like the Wilds area in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Catching
and Sword and Shield.
Was that,
That's
sorry?
also the DLC in Sword and Shield.
Oh, I
also
never played it.
Yeah.
So that's in any area. That's even in towns and all that kind of stuff. Catching's a lot different. It's so you can now just throw Pokeballs at Pokemon, and you could catch them as long as they haven't seen you. There's some stealth based, and they have to hide in tall grass, sneak up on them. If they see you, you can battle them, and a lot of Pokemon require you to battle them to catch them. The battles are a hell of a lot more fast paced now. It all happens it doesn't take you to a separate arena like it does in other games. You're still there, stood there in the real world. Your trainer can even move around while you're battling, stand right between the Pokemon and their Pokemon and your Pokemon. But the attacks happen a lot faster. It's a lot more streamlined. And even if they go back to the old, they still bring back the traditional Pokemon, I really hope they kind of keep some of those changes and for the way how fast it goes, because it makes it so much more tolerable. I'm not a big fan of turn-based combat stuff, but that made it a lot more appetizing to me. I really liked it. So, have I missed anything?
Probably quite a lot. I mean, they've removed like the free Pokeball shake, so obviously that adds to the fastness of it. It's either you catch or you don't, it's just instant.
Yeah.
You
you craft Pokeballs now. You can buy them, but you craft them.
You can buy them. You can craft materials now. A lot of the game's based on going to like craft resources, which you can collect throughout the different areas in the game, which obviously is nice. It means you don't have to spend all your hard-earned Poke dollars. There's probably other stuff, but I don't want to sit here going,
no gyms.
No gyms, yeah. Literally all. That's one thing that some people are upset about, I've seen, is the lack of battles. Some people are the thing I like Pokemon games for are the battles, and it's like there's not as many of them in this game.
That's something I was going to bring up on why I gave it a lower score than like a 9 or a 10. It felt like there was like 6 battles in the entire game. I don't want to be fighting wild Pokemon all the time. I want to be fighting some trainers. It would have been cool to see like a progression or something, like towards the end of the game, like the first gym getting built, and then you become like the gym leader or something. That would have been cool to see. And then like when you meet them 3 sisters, then you just fight them over and over again. I don't want to be fighting a Abomasnow, a Toxicroak, and a Rhydon. Those are the only 3 Pokemon that you fight in a battle.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Sorry, go on, Oliver.
So there's one thing that did annoy me. So before the first set of credits, the last trainer battle you have is against one of the sisters, and it's a piss easy one as well, because you've just got one. You've just picked up a legendary, and it's a piss easy one. And then obviously you go and do the boss battle, but it's not a trainer fight. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I think the sisters would have been fine if they got more Pokemon as the game went on, but they always just had one Pokemon each, and it was just really boring. It just didn't feel like a fight, because I thought like they'd gain Pokemon as it went on from like the new areas, and I'd be like, oh, I just got this from here, blah blah blah, but they just didn't. And yeah, the last fight again was just bad. The actual last fight I was gonna bring up is the only fight in the game that I'm like, this is really good. Because they have a full team of Pokemon. The reason it's so good is also partly due to fan service of the team, but the fact that they have a full team and it's a challenge. Like the last battle was hard. It was a It's probably one of the hardest Pokemon battles I've ever done, if not the hardest. It was tough, and I really liked that, and I feel like there should be more of that in the next game if they carry on with it. more trainer battles, because the combat system's so fun.
Yeah.
With it being
Yeah.
so quick and snappy now, being able to walk around the fight and whatever, it's just so fun. I would have loved to have seen more battles. I didn't really get a chance to really dive into the battle system, sadly, because for all the other trainer battles, it was either you win or you lose the battle. You hit your move, and your Pokemon either kills it in one shot, or their Pokemon kills you in one shot. So you couldn't really ever judge anything. But that last battle was a really good showcase of the battle system. And obviously, if you don't play the after game, you're not gonna get to see that. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit sad.
I do have a big problem with the battle system though. I hate how they've removed every single AoE move. So, for example, I don't think it's even in the game, but Surf would hit every single Pokemon
Yeah.
available. But say like, you got Form and Chop around you, you can only fight them one by one.
That is
which I
really
don't like.
annoying. It's so
Yeah,
they
it's
can all
really
attack
annoying.
you, but you can't attack them.
Yeah, exactly. I want to fight everything at once. And then there's that part in the game where you fight a Electivire, Magmortar, and a Rhyperior.
Yeah.
Why can't I attack them all at once?
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of annoying.
the only thing I can think of is maybe, and this is a maybe here, is that maybe they want to discourage you from just running into the swarms of Pokemon and just trying to beat them up, because they want them to feel threatening. Like when you go into a 4-man Machop fight and they're all swarming you, they want it to feel like you're in danger. If you could just go in and surf them all, then it probably would be less intimidating.
Yeah, but what I would like though is if it split the damage up, so you're not doing as much damage. So say like it's an 80 power move, you're fighting 4 Pokemon, it does 20, like 20 damage to all of them.
That's something I'll give compliments to, though, to be fair, is the damage scaling in this game. Because it actually makes the game difficult. Because because in any other Pokemon game, especially even just say from Let's Go Eevee onwards, you just run through the game with one Pokemon. And don't even lie to yourself like that isn't true. You just use one Pokemon and it's strong enough to just kill everything throughout the entire game. In this, I constantly had to find myself switching because my Pokemon would just get blasted by a Pokemon 30 levels lower than it, and it would just instantly get wrecked, which is so good because it makes stuff feel threatening. And I have to actually think about what I'm going to do instead of just mashing A.
It's so weird though, because I remember when I was just going through trying to complete the Pokedex, getting research level 10, and I think I used it must have been a Grotle. It must have been like level 40 or something, and I fought a level 6 Drifloon. I used Razor Leaf on it, and I didn't kill it.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, I know it's good, but it's very surprising when you're a level 40. Just because it's not very effective, it doesn't kill it. It's mind blowing to think.
I'm surprised they actually did that. Like, that's good on them. They actually you know what? Yeah, it's not super effective, especially. It's like well, it shouldn't kill it really. It should have a bit of a chance against you because it's buffed against you. It should be able to
do a lot of damage as well, even when they're really low level against you, which is very weird.
I mean, that's true in real life. I mean, if you're out in real life, you probably wouldn't be scared of a rat, but it could still probably do some damage to you if it attacked you. I mean, I just think it's very good what they did. I'm happy. What, sorry?
They'll give you the plague.
I mean, yeah, that is something to be scared
It's the new thingy. Oh, we could talk about that as well, actually. They got rid of Freeze and Sleep, and it's been replaced with Frostbite and Drowsy.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I never got
Frostbite. Frostbite, it's the same as Burn. Do you like it halves your attack, Lewis? But it instead halves your special attack.
No.
That's really good. That's a cool implementation of it. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see confusion at all.
I did.
Yeah, confusion's in it.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair play. So I was just thinking more things that have changed. So evolutions have changed. They now appear in your menu.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen off the cuff. It'll say this Pokemon can now evolve. You can go in and change it. That's very good.
The moves as well.
Yeah, the moves. Yeah, so
good.
Your Pokemon can now pick from a pool of moves, and you can change them whenever you want. You're no longer constrained to just 4 moves, and you don't have to forget anything. You can change it all the time, and I did it often. Like what you were saying before, Lewis, where you have to use your entire party. You're constantly switching between your entire party, and you are constantly switching moves as well to try and match whatever situation you're in. It's really good. It adds a lot more strategy to it.
Like, I don't know why it took them so long to get to this level, but yeah, it's a great change. I need them to keep it.
Yeah, no, it was really good. But one of the biggest changes is the gym leaders have been replaced with noble Pokemon,
Noble battles,
noble battles, where
Good. Right.
each area has a frenzied noble Pokemon. It's usually massive, and you've got to try and chill it out a bit. And it's not a battle. It's not a battle, is it? You are
No.
throwing food at it for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not not my favorite part of the game.
No.
I
Not
like it
mine
more
either.
than I expected it to. When I was reading the reviews, that was another
Why?
thing bringing the scores down. Is that everyone said the noble battles were really disappointing, and I think they were a little bit disappointing. But I found them being quite fun, at least from like the third noble onwards. So from like the Arcanine onwards, I found them to be quite fun because they were quite challenging. But they were a lot harder than they needed to be because Oliver did inform me and Alex of a button when I'd already completed the game that you can actually restart exactly from where you left off
If you die.
If you die.
Didn't know
So
that.
whenever I was dying, I was restarting the entire fight. But Oliver informed both of us that there's a second option where it will let you just carry on from the most like recent. So the health is segmented into like 5 different bars. And it will let you continue from the most recent bar you got to, so it makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
I'll admit now the last fight, which I guess I won't say still because I don't want to spoil it, but in the very very last noble fight of the game, I used that feature,
I abused it as well.
and if I didn't use it, it would have taken me probably like an hour. Like I'm not even
Probably
lying.
longer.
It took me like 25 minutes using that feature. So if I didn't use it, I would have messed it up. So I am thankful for that. I do think they need to make it a bit more clear because I wasn't aware. Because it's in like the second or third slot of the options in the text.
It is weird because it says restart the fight, continue the fight.
Yeah,
So
so
it's like,
it's just a bit odd.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into spoilers in a minute. One more thing I should probably ask you at the beginning. What starter did you pick?
Oh.
I picked the first starter I ever picked in Pokemon Crystal, which was Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil.
I'm a little baby bitch boy, and Cyndaquil is one of the best starters, so I chose Cyndaquil.
Fucking Rowlet.
The opportunity to use Cyndaquil has not been a thing for like 20 years, so like I'm all for it.
But let's all agree, Oshawott is the worst starter.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of Rowlet, to be honest with you. So Rowlet was that Sun and Moon, or was it X and Y?
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so Sun and Moon. So yeah, I didn't even play that, so I didn't have any kind of. I just picked it because I always pick the grass one, because usually picking the grass Pokemon in a Pokemon game is easy mode. It wasn't really the case this time. But yeah, no, I wasn't a massive fan of Rowlet either. I didn't like it. I didn't like Decidueye. It was. Nah.
Regular Decidueye looks much better.
Yeah, he's Grass Ghost, the original one.
Yeah, I feel like I should have gone with Cyndaquil, but
yeah, you should have listened to your heart.
When my heart tells me grass, I should have listened to my brain. So I should have listened to. But yes, well, I think we're going to discuss some spoilers now because I'm quite interested to see what happens after the main game. So from this point onwards, will be spoilers. If you want to skip this part, then there'll be what they're called along the progress bar.
Timestamps.
Timestamp. There were timestamps that take you past this part. So tell me what happens after the main game. So you've caught Dialga, you've caught Palkia. Everyone's realised that they're not actually gods. They're just chilling. You know what happens?
Give a general rundown. Basically, everyone's happy with each other, and then they're like, "Wait a second.
No, we're not."
There's these plates that you need to go and... So Volo, who's been with you the entire game, starts egging you on, and he's like, there's these plates that you need to go get. They're cool. And he's like, go fight these legendary Pokemon and go get these plates. So you go get them all and catch them all. And he's getting like progressively more weird throughout the game, and getting a bit more sus as time goes on. And you end up collecting all these plates, and he's like, once you've collected all these plates, go and go back to the top of... what's it called?
Spear Pillar.
Yeah, Spear Pillar. Go back to the top of Spear Pillar and go see what happens, basically, if you ring the flute thing again.
Do the plates come from legendary Pokemon? Do you have to catch legendary Pokemon to get them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go. Oh, you can kill them, I guess, but yeah, you have to just go and just mess them up. So you go to the top of Spear Pillar, and then he is like, "Lol, what a twist." I actually really want to summon Arceus, and the way I'm going to do that is by summoning the Demon Lord Giratina, to basically force him out. So obviously throughout the game, and everyone's known this for ages, we knew he was Cynthia's ancestor because look at him, he's Cynthia's ancestor. But the battle confirms it, in the sense that he literally has her team from Diamond and Pearl. Like he whips it out, and it
one Pokemon which has changed because Milotic isn't in Legends Arceus, so he's replaced with Hisui and Arcanine.
Yeah. It's really good the way he introduces it. Like he gets proper evil anime smirk. He pulls off his like cloak and his hat, and his hair looks like Arceus's head. It's really funny. It's really good. But then there's like a nice remix of Cynthia's theme. It's busting. It's all good. And you fight an incredibly hard fight against Volo, where all of his Pokemon are like level 70 or something. It's tough. And then Giratina shoots out of a portal. And then you have to like one-on-one Giratina, and you bear in mind it's incredibly difficult, and you've just fought Volo, so your team's like
it doesn't heal you in between.
It doesn't heal you. So you then fight Giratina, which is hard in itself, and you're like, oh my god, finally it's done. But then Giratina transforms into his origin form, and you have to fight him again. So you fought Volo's entire team, Giratina, and you're fighting him again. Your team's gone. You probably died like 4 times at this point, like I did. Bear in mind, when you die, you have to do all of it again. You have to fight him, and then Giratina, and Giratina again. And then obviously you beat Giratina, and then he's basically like, damn, you're actually the chosen one. I'm kind of sad. I'm just going to leave. And then when you leave, you get a text message from Arceus, and he's like, go collect the Pokemon, my guy.
But before that, your flute transforms into some weird purple mesh thing, which I don't even know how to describe it.
It's just basically a weird ocarina. It's just weird.
Why does it do that?
Because
that's the Azure flute, which summons Arceus.
Okay.
So obviously the Azure flute's like mentioned in Diamond and Pearl. But yeah, it turns into the Azure flute, and then you try ringing it, and it's like there's nothing here. And then Arceus basically goes to tell you to collect all the Pokemon, and then he will come out, pretty much.
Yep, and then when you go get all the Pokemon, you go to the top, summon it, Arceus reveals a staircase, you go up, and you have to throw bags at Arceus, and let me tell you, that fight is fucking difficult. Oh my god, it took me about half an hour, and that was with the progress thing.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that, it would have took me ages.
I would highly recommend go watch it on YouTube, even if it's for like 5 minutes just to watch. It's an incredible fight. It looks really good. I guess one of the best looking sections in the entire game. And the difficulty just ramped up to like 10,000. Like it's stupidly hard. And it's really weird because Arceus invites you up the stairway to heaven, and you go up, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you for collecting all the Pokemon," and he just starts beating the shit out of you for no reason. And then after you beat him, he's like, "Again, cheers for collecting all the Pokemon. I'm just gonna give you part of my soul now," which is basically how you get Arceus. You don't get Arceus; he just gives you part of him, which you can then use. And then once you've done that, then the game's it's over. There's not really any story after. It's not like, oh, you caught Arceus. It's just sort of your own personal achievement, I guess. Really,
that's all interesting. That because I thought the fight against Palkia at the end of before the crates was piss easy. Like that's probably the easiest one.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a fight. It was just after a poke, like an Ultra Ball.
You got to calm it down first. I mean, like the calming down section is shit. It's like it's so easy. Cool.
The Arceus fight is very good. I'd watch it 100% on YouTube. It's really, really fun.
Does Arceus give any motivation for why he wants all these Pokemon?
No, he just sort of.
That's all he says. He says seek out all Pokemon. And that's
it. Yeah, that was an important thing as well. To be fair, I forgot to mention it. Volo is the one who brought you here.
Oh yeah, Place. So, are you actually the protagonist from Diamond and Pearl?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And that's confirmed, is it?
Yeah, he brought you there because I can't remember why, but he brought you there, and his plan was he wanted to get rid of everything. He wanted to get rid of all the Pokemon, so that nothing existed.
Why?
I don't know, evil. Evil guys be evil. So he brought you back. I can't remember why he brought you back. There was sort of reason he brought you back. You were like the chosen one or some shit. I don't fucking remember. But he brought you back, and he was basically gonna wipe out history and just get rid of everything, and just stop it from existing with Giratina. But yeah, Arceus just wants you to. I think Arceus just wants you to collect Pokemon to just show that you're like worthy, I guess, to like meet him.
Yeah.
Like you're one with the Pokemon, I guess. So like you're worthy enough of a trainer to. Or like you're a nice enough trainer that like you should be allowed to meet like God Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of it, and then the game just ends. There isn't like after credits. After credits, it just
so
ends.
the character doesn't go back to their own time. So assuming that he's still living in Sinnoh.
No. Well, that's the thing that I thought was weird is they don't explicitly ever mention like ever going back or whatever. Like they just like I guess they're just there now.
Well, there's that other character as well, Ingo.
Yes.
He's also from the future. He's I don't know if you know this, Oliver. He's from Black and White.
Yeah, he's from a different future. Yeah, he's from somewhere else.
So yeah, he has like a twin brother, and he runs like the battle subway or something. And he got sent back for some reason, which could hint at
people
maybe Legends Kieran or something.
Yeah, people are freaking out.
Because Kieran used to be one dragon with Reshiram and Zekrom.
Yeah.
So people are thinking that we're going to see the original dragon.
Oh, right, that's pretty cool.
That'd be so cool. Because Kieran's design's really cool as well, anyway. Whether or not that actually means anything for the future of the games, I don't know. But I hope it's some sort of a teaser, because it'd be cool.
So, we'll stop the spoilers there. We're coming towards the end now. So, the big question is now, where do we want the Pokemon series to go? Do we want them to just continue with these games? Do we want it to continue putting out regular Pokemon games, like the traditional ones? What do we want?
I think there's room for both of the games. I need the Legends games to stay consistent now. I personally think it's going to be very difficult going back to the old style of Pokemon game with how slow they're going to be. Like someone made a video clip of like in like one Pokemon battle in like a standard Pokemon game, which is like a minute long, you can like catch like 10 Pokemon or something in Legends Arceus in the same time it takes for one battle. And I feel like the pacing issues are going to be a big issue. I feel like if they're going to make standard games, they need to bring some of the aspects of these games to those games. Whether it be letting me skip cutscenes or just shortening the cutscenes to just make them a lot snappier. I still think there's a place for turn-based stuff, and I'm a fan of turn-based stuff. But if they get rid of these Legends games now, I think it's going to be a big hit to the Pokemon community, because I feel like they'll miss it.
Yeah, we've seen it now, haven't we? They've let us see it.
Considering this is something, like, as a Pokemon fan, this is something you've wanted since you were, like, a kid. Like, this is, like, when you thought of, like, a console Pokemon game, this is what you wanted. You wanted the ability to go do what you want, catch Pokemon with actual Pokeballs and throw them like that. This is, like, the ideal Pokemon game. And tearing that away from everyone, I think, would just be kind of cruel. So, I think it would also affect their sales for other games, because I think they'd sort of be like, no, I don't want this now. Because I feel like there's a chance they've segregated the player base now, potentially.
Yes.
In the sense that they just, like, if a new game comes out and it's turn-based, they might just be like, no, I'll just play Legends Arceus.
I want Arceus,
yeah, like, I don't want to play that. So, because before, we didn't have an option, did we? Like, they release those games every year or every 2 years, and that's what you got. But now, they've shown that they can do something else. So now it's like, well, I know you have more to offer now. So, if you don't give it us, we might be a bit pissed. So, obviously, time will tell. I might be chatting shit. They might never release a Legends Arceus game again, go back to just the turn-based stuff, and they'll sell the best they've ever done. And that'll be it. I don't know.
No, I think that doesn't have to happen.
No, what if they're just like, right, we're going to focus on Legends games, and then we'll outsource the turn-based stuff to another company. That could happen as well.
I'd like that, as long as they can put more time into it.
Yeah, as long as they create new ones as well, it's not just remakes.
Yeah, Brilliant Diamond needed more time, I think, as well.
Brilliant Diamond was definitely, like I said, it was too last minute of a game. After, like, when it came out,
it was an afterthought.
When it came out, I played it and I was like, yeah, this is fine. But thinking back on it now, and it was only like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, it was just a bit like, Like I could have
Yeah.
definitely done without it. I didn't need
I'd
it.
rather play Platinum.
Yeah, it was very,
They
very.
should have just done Pokemon Renegade Platinum or something. I don't know.
Yeah, very, very money-making game, and I should have stopped myself from buying. I even said I shouldn't have bought it. Like before.
Yeah, I mean, you got your hours worth.
Yeah, I got my
out
hours
of it.
worth out of it, but that's just because, and I'll admit this now, it was literally a timer before Legends Arceus. Like it was just sustaining me before Arceus came out. Like I knew that game was coming, but I didn't have my like Pokemon itch for that year, so I was like, I need something to like keep me going. But yeah, I don't know. They need to carry these games on. I will say this now, and take this with a grain of salt, but a very well-established leaker who has never really been wrong has said that there is going to be DLC for Legends Arceus this year.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
Where they're going to go with that, I don't know. Are they just going to send us to a different region? Are they going to open up different areas on the map we've already got? I don't know, but I'm excited to see that regardless. Go on.
2 possibilities for DLC. The Battle Resort area could be like an island that you go to, just an extra area with undiscovered Pokemon. Or it could be something like what Sword and Shield did where they focus on multiplayer stuff. So maybe you could connect with a friend and you do like competitions or something who can catch the most Pokemon in like 5 minutes with like a timer. And
That'd be cool.
Something like that. Gibson agrees, if you heard him.
If I had to predict, I think it'd just be a couple of new areas where open up the Pokedex a bit more, get more Pokemon in there. Just small extra bits of story, I guess. That's what I'd assume they're doing.
Well,
more sewer farms, stuff like that.
For me, my idea of it was like releasing Pokemon for different regions because I don't. If they do carry on this Legends Arceus stuff, I don't think it's gonna be like they're gonna make a game from every region. That'd just be long, probably. And not that I wouldn't like it, but I just think it'd be too much. If they did a DLC, I could see them maybe like giving us some Pokemon from each region and being like, here's a handful of these, here's a handful of that, and that's how we'll get a lot of the Pokemon in it. And I think we'll get, as Alex said, I think maybe we could get like a Legends Kyurem thing, and then after that they'll just do like a brand new story IP, like but set in like the future or modern day with the Legends Arceus style of gameplay. But I think for now DLC they'll just give us handfuls of Pokemon and maybe some new legendaries.
Yeah.
Like people are theorizing that they're going to give us Hisuian forms of the dogs, of the legendary dogs. Because I think because isn't there some lore with the legendary dogs like Entei, Raikou, and whatever that they were like Eevees or something before they were dogs.
So they were Eevees, and then they got like there was like Firestones, Waterstones, and Thunderstones, and then they got like with Ho-Oh, and it was all that was involved.
Yeah.
That's why in Ecruteak you find Ho-Oh with the legendary dogs in the exact same place. So that's why that's theorized.
So maybe we could see some new new versions of the legendary dog, or their original versions.
Yeah, their original forms.
Which would be really, really cool. I'm excited to see what they do with it. It opens up a lot of opportunities. And I want them to just keep focusing on this game and give me more. Give me as much as you want, as much as you can.
In terms of Pokemon going forward, I've had a theory for years that somewhere within the Pokemon Company headquarters is a box with break glass in case of administration. It's got a Pokemon MMO in it, and that for me is the absolute ideal scenario. Pokemon, my favorite kind of RPG is an MMORPG.
Yeah,
and I'd fucking love it. Imagine raiding with a party of Pokemon with like 5 other trainers. Fucking
out of all the games in the world, Pokemon seems like the perfect fit for an MMO, and it's very weird that they've never attempted it.
Nintendo Online, you know.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. I genuinely think it's just like a Nintendo thing of they just don't they like doing everything themselves, I think, and they don't want to like give it to people. So like if Game Freak can't do it or whatever, I think they're just like nah, like we don't want to do it, even though it would make them millions, hundreds of millions.
Oh yeah,
probably.
It'd be World of Warcraft. It'd never die. It would never die. It'd go on forever. They'd have to update it like every couple of years or something. But one more thing that I want in Pokemon games, which I don't think is too much to ask now, because Xenoblade Chronicles is fully fucking voice acted. Why haven't we got voice acting? Why haven't we got voice acting? I'm not a big fan of fucking anime voice acting, but it would have made the first hour and a half of this game so much better.
It would have turned the shit story into a mediocre. Because at least with voice acting, you can either laugh at the voice acting or you can just enjoy the voice acting. Like at least you get something out of it. When
Yeah.
it's just characters just moving their lip flap. Did he even move lip flaps? I don't remember.
I can't remember them doing.
Like,
It's
here's
just,
an example. They could have done like a Persona thing where only the major things are voice acted. Because
Yeah.
obviously you got like the major
Anything.
major story that's voice
Yeah.
acted, but they also just have like when you're speaking to them, it's just them like thingy blip
Yeah.
flaps.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
made it so much better.
It would have added a lot to the atmosphere that was sort of lacking. It would have just added a bit of oomph to it. But,
Right.
I mean, we've seen now that they can do stuff, so you never know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
exactly. So we'll end it there. So our average score. So you two gave it an 8, I give it a 7. So our average score, we'll call it a 7.5.
7.5,
Official PTR score for Pokemon Legends Arceus. In terms of what is coming up on the channel, so I'm just gonna put this out tomorrow.
Okay.
What's just come out on the channel is our live reactions to the Nintendo Direct that happened on the 9th. Go check that out. There's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of screaming from Lewis. It was very good. Next up will be our news podcast, which will go out on Tuesday, the 15th of February. We'll do. There's loads to discuss on there. All the company acquisitions, and we'll talk about the directs.
It'll be a long one.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. There's going to be a lot of talk on there, a lot of arguments, I'm sure. After that, on the 20th, we'll have Niall's 4th episode of A to Z Game Pass. He'll be doing the D. I don't know what he's doing for it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, and then on the 28th.
We'll probably have Zelda in between there if Lewis finishes.
Yeah, well, might have the next episode of Hyrule Chronicles out with Ocarina of Time. And then finally, on the 28th of February, we'll have our video game book club episode, which is Batman Arkham Asylum. And that's it. That's all we've got for you. So until next time, we shall see you later.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.